Hello, everyone. Welcome to Katie Lai Homes Monthly Podcast. I'm Katie Lai, your host and trusted Vancouver realtor. Each month, we'll dive into tips and trends about the real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious about the market, we've got you covered. Grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get started. This month, it's all about a buyer's market. Don't forget to hit subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes. Happy listening.
Getting into the housing market around here, Metro Vancouver, Fraser Valley, well, it's felt like trying to climb a greased pole, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Tough sledding for buyers.
But is that maybe changing? Today, we're going to dive into the latest real estate stats, the June 2025 numbers, to really figure out what kind of market we're in right now.
And crucially, what unique chances might be opening up, especially, if you're thinking about buying your first home.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. So kicking things off in Metro Vancouver, the data shows residential sale, well, they were down 9.8% compared to last June.
Yeah, bit of a dip.
A dip, yeah. But here's where it gets interesting, I think. We're seeing signs of stabilization. That year-over-year drop, it actually halved from what we saw back in May. So what's going on there?
Well, what's really fascinating is that while sales did dip a little, the number of homes actually for sale in Metro Vancouver, that's way up.
Way up.
Oh, yeah. We're talking a huge jump, 23.8% more listings than last June. And even more striking, it's 43.7% higher than the 10-year average for this time of year.
Wow. Okay. 43% above average.
Exactly. So what that means for you if you're looking is you're not scrambling anymore. There's just more choice. You can breathe a bit, compare properties.
And presumably have a bit more power in negotiations.
That's right. And look at the sales to active listings ratio. It tells us how hot the market is, basically. It's sitting at 12.8%.
Okay.
Now, that's technically balanced, but it's really close to that 12% threshold. Below 12%. And you typically start seeing prices soften because supply is, well, it's catching up to demand, maybe even exceeding it.
So leaning towards buyers then.
Definitely tipping that way.
Yeah.
Especially when you factor in mortgage rates being down, around 2% since last summer. It adds up.
Okay, that 23.8% jump in listings in Metro Van, that's a big deal. So if that's the picture there, what about next door in the Fraser Valley? Same story or something different?
It's actually even more pronounced in the Fraser Valley. If we look at the bigger picture, the Fraser Valley is, well, it's explicitly in a buyer's market right now.
Explicitly. Okay.
Yeah. Active listings there. They were pushing 11,000 in June. That's a solid 30% increase compared to this time last year, 30%.
30%, wow. And sales?
Sales were down about 9% compared to last June. So you put that together.
Yeah.
More listings, fewer sales.
The ratio must be lower then.
Exactly. The overall sales to active listings ratio there is 11%.
11, so below that 12% mark.
Right. Well below the 12 to 20% range we'd call balanced. So it's not just sort of buyer friendly. It really points strongly towards an environment where buyers have, significant leverage.
Okay, so we've got these shifts happening. More homes on the market in both areas. Fraser Valley firmly in buyer territory. Metro Van leaning that way. Prices softening a bit. The big question then is, what does this actually mean for someone listening right now? Especially, say, a first-time buyer who's been waiting, maybe feeling priced out.
Yeah, that's the crucial takeaway, isn't it? It raises a really important point for buyers.
Yeah.
Across both regions, benchmark prices have actually dipped slightly compared to last year.
Okay, slightly down. How much are we talking?
Well, for example, the Metro Vancouver composite benchmark, that's like the price of a typical home, it's down 2.8% from June 2024.
Okay.
And in the Fraser Valley, that composite benchmark is down 5.0% over the last year.
5% in the valley. Okay.
And remember, the benchmark smooths things out. It's not just a few high-end sales dragging things down or a few low ones. Seeing that number soften signals a broader trend.
Right. It's not just noise in the data.
Exactly. So you combine that, more homes to look at, these slightly softer prices, and it really creates a uniquely opportune time, particularly in the Fraser Valley, and maybe especially if you are a first-time buyer.
So this window, what could it mean practically? Like when you're making an offer?
It means you might actually have room to negotiate on the price. It means you might be able to include conditions in your offer, like financing or inspection clauses, things that were maybe impossible to get accepted a year or two ago.
Stuff that protects you as a buyer.
Precisely. You might even get a closing date that works better for you. Honestly, buyers right now are seeing some of the most, let's say, advantageous conditions we've seen in quite a few years. It's this combo. More inventory, price adjustments.
So the evidence seems pretty clear today. Both Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley are definitely showing strong signals of being buyers markets, or at least heading firmly in that direction.
Yeah, more homes listed, prices generally flat or edging down slightly.
Which translates to, for you listening, more options on the table and potentially better leverage when you find something you like.
That's the bottom line.
So if you've been on the fence, thinking about getting into the housing market, maybe dreaming about that first home, what could this, unique window of opportunity actually mean for your longer-term plans? For your finances, for just that feeling of finally putting down roots? Definitely something to chew on until our next deep dive.